Happy Monday! Yay! Happy Monday. Wait, why am I not? Model. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Apparently my model was still asleep. It didn't want to wake up. It's a Monday, you know. Mondays are like that, aren't they? Sometimes you just don't want to get up and do stuff. I've been weirdly productive, but not very productive today. It's very weird. Spent most of the time in bed, but I was writing a lot. I don't like anything that I wrote, but I was writing. Oh gosh. But I hope you're all doing well today. Where's my gloves? They're coming on. They're on. Yeah! Do, no. Yeet. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I had a delivery today. For what? For 50th White Dwarf? Well, it's not for 50th. There's been like lots of White Dwarfs. Oh, 50 years of Games Workshop White Dwarf. That's the one I got. These gloves. But if I don't like getting on to my handy pandies. My handy pandies. No. I've got the long sleeve gloves on. I've got my old ones on. These need to be in the wash. What am I doing? Give me a moment. Oh. Oi. Oi. Where are you? Magical gloves. Magical sleeve gloves. There we go. I'm getting magical sleeve gloves on. They're white. Hopefully the camera will be fine with them. Oh. Oh, there we go. Bit by bit. They're getting on. They're on. Well, one of them's on. How's everyone's days been going though? I hope your day's been going well. I hope it's been going better than you know, a boiled potato that fell out the pot and only ever got half boiled and it kind of splattered on the floor and now it's being thrown away, but because it's been cooked it can't sprout anymore either and it's just kind of sad. I hope your day's going better than that. If it is, amazing. If that's how you feel though, I'm sorry for you. I hope you feel better soon. Hello! We're here, hi! Yep, camera's all looking good. I actually remembered to get the water before the stream. That's for the brush, that's not to drink from. The Citadel water pot. Hi, motivated dad. Guess too early today? Too early! Too early! What's too early? I am. Oh, I was about to say I finished painting this one. Oh no, that's the one we painted first. Just realised there's like big old thing here. Hello, Dr. Smilex. How are you doing? Give me a moment before we do anything. I'm gonna get some Sarah's purple on this here thing. What you doing not being painted? Can you see? It's like, yeah, with his little claw. Elbow claw. There's no such thing as too early on a Monday. Oh. There we go. There we go. Oh, lovely. Lovely jubbly. You're doing good. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. Actually, I've had a bit of a weirdly productive, but not productive day. Like I spent most of the day in bed. Hello, Crazy Nick. How are you doing? Much love back at you. Yay. Yeah, I finished painting that other one, this one. I finished painting this one. You know, I say finished painting. I finished getting the purple on it. last night after I got all my thumbnails done. You're doing okay? Yeah, and it's TA as well. I hope your day's going better today, TA. Ah. I had something in my teeth then. I got some cola. Yeah. And also, what else do I have? There's 2 things that arrived today. What we're doing? 3 things that arrived today. Oh, 1 is this kill team thing. Oh, so excited with this. I love it. I like canoptics for the neck ones, so I'm really excited we got a kill team like this to really make us feel more canoptic. Also, the new Guy Haley Archmage's book. I didn't manage to get the other one for special print because it sold out like immediately. But, oh, very nice. Surprisingly light for a hardback. I'm hoping Chaos can win more games and I can turn my bad luck around my bad luck streak. Oh no. Did you like your explosive idea? Yeah, it was a funny idea. Also, new White Dwarf. 50 years of Games Workshop. Look at that shiny. Oh, so shiny. Oh. But yeah, it comes with this weird thing. Talisman Magical Quest game. Instructions, punch out for board overlay and story card. And set up for play area in your Talisman 5th edition book. Yeah, it's weird stuff here. But there's also something, if any of you play Tacitus and you've not got the Sangre Priest, there's a code for it. Because I'm not going to use this. If anyone wants to use this code, right here. Right here. Yeah. But also, very nice book. Look at all that chaos stuff up the side. Because there's a big old board game. There's a big old game. Oh yeah, there's also something cool. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of like these punch out things again at the back. Including flamer templates and stuff. It's like, what? Ooh. I think those are some like really old models. Never seen that model before. Oh, it's Chaos Warrior Chaos Dragon thing. Are you going to paint the Tyranids white or keep them Kentuckified? We're going for... This is the colour scheme we're going for. I'm going to try and replicate. So they're going to be yellow, purple, blue. Bit Defender update. Don't update. No, why you update? I didn't tell you to update. Don't. No. Show progress. Oh, it's saying it wants to cancel update. I don't want to restart. It was telling me it was updating. It was about to restart. So I'm like, no, don't restart my PC, you stupid antivirus thing. Oh no. But yeah. So this shouldn't be too Kentuckified looking. This is High Fleet Cupcon back from before I was green. What else is there? For something cool. I've only glanced through the entire thing. Oh yeah, there's a thing like it's telling you about 40k, about for ages. What do you mean you just complete? Okay, it's not look. It doesn't look like it's going to restart my PC. Good. But yeah, look at this. It's got 4th edition Space Marines. It's based on like each of the starter sets. So if you look here, you've got 2nd edition, sorry, 3rd edition and 4th edition starter sets. The 4th edition one sucks so much compared to all of these. But it's really funny considering I just got the Battle of McCrag. But yeah, we'll turn this light off, we can see it better. Yes, so the second edition gave you 20 Space Marines, 10 Arc Boys, 20 Gretchen, and a Killer Can. The second edition starter set, the third edition starter set, sorry, gave you 10 Tactical Marines, a Land Speeder, and 20 Cabalite Warriors, which is kind of a bit meh in comparison. But then the fourth edition one, just like, okay, we're giving you 10 Space Marines, 10 Termagants, 16 Stealers, and 8 Spore Mines. It's like, what? And you can say, well, look at that terrain. That's really good terrain you get in the fourth edition. But that one also came with terrain. And that one also came with terrain. Oh, but it's really fun. It's basically saying you can use 10th edition rules and use these stratagems and objectives with them. I got to nostalgia good and proper. Yay! It has rules for all editions. No, it doesn't have the rules for all the editions. What it's doing is, it's basically saying, hey, if you have 20 Space Marines and an Arc player who has 20 Gretchen, 10 Rough Riders, or whatever, you can play using the same armies, and they give you special detachments and stratagems to use with those armies. So that they can be played against one another using the starter sets. But you use the 10th edition rules with these extra rules it gives you instead of your normal detachment. It's like, it's pretty nice. Global warming took our terrain in our starter set. I mean, wait a minute. Did 10th edition have any terrain in it? Actually, no. Yeah, you can get a starter set. You do get terrain in your starter set. By the way, if you've got arachnophobia, you might want to look away soon. Not now. But because the current starter set, guess what it has in it? It has cool terrain, yeah. Like if we go start here. Well, actually got 2 starter sets at the moment. The cheaper one, which has less models in it and less terrain, and it's £69.50. Pretty decent starter set though. And I think it's not actually that much. Like, I think Battle of McQuag was like 40 quid when it came out, and it had less models in it than this does. This also gives you a sheet to play with. But yeah, for your more expensive person, has a librarian in it as well. And for Barbagants. Yeah, it has for librarian and for Barbagants is the extra models you get. And you also get this terrain set in it. So yeah, you do get terrain in your starter set. Website Diphobia, Flashbang, yeah. Kill Team is giving us plenty of terrain, like the recent Necron Tomb World. Yeah, they're not a starter set. I mean, they kind of are starter sets, but they are also, they're more like launch boxes, kind of. But there's plenty of, what's it called? Yeah, but I mean, Kill Team stuff comes with a terrain. Like, if you've been buying the Kill Team stuff, you would have gotten, yeah, this is the terrain set that comes with the starter set. And where is it? This came with one of the starter set, or one of the Kill Team sets. But this one came with one of the Kill Team sets. Do they still have the statue, or is that just like a limited thing? Might have been limited. Yeah, they don't have a statue at the moment, which is sad. But yeah, you got the Necron Tomb World stuff. That's not that good for like 40k game boards though. That's more if you want to play a... Oh, what did they call it? Boarding action. And you got this thing. Is that for the Awakened Woods, labelled as Woods? let us go back to this terrain. Yay, for woods. Originally, this was just woods. It wasn't awakened woods. But yeah, it is now the awakened wildwood. That in 40k can just be used as a forest. I also like how we've got the Hammerfell bunker here, like as terrain, when it's actually a deployable unit. This needs deep strike on it, my goodness. Sylvaneth players are foaming at the mouth. The pile of shame shall grow. Yay! Tidal, look, you've even got Tau terrain. So cool. Do we have any Eldar terrain? That's what I want to know. We don't. We don't have any Eldar terrain. They did sell a webway portal and made to order for a little bit. Got some Necron terrain here, which is cool. Incredible. The awakened woods. But yeah. Also, if we were since we're at the website, arachnophobia warning, go! There's a new Shelob coming out. Look how detailed that Shelob is. The big old spider from Lord of the Rings. New Gollum. Frodo wrapped up in bandages with his big old feet. Eldar barely got any models. You think they get... Eldar has loads of models. Got the Stormcast Spearhead, thinking of getting the Sylvaneth Seraphon, Death Rattle or OSR. And then I remember I need to eat and pay bills, yeah. Yeah. Where can I buy Frodo wrapped in webs? You might be able to get it on eBay after this box comes out if you just want the Frodo by himself. But otherwise, generally, I'm not actually sure how expensive the Lord of the Rings sets are when they come out, but it's going to be a set that comes with Shelob, Gollum, and Frodo here. Incoming strategy battle game journal, Treachery of Gollum. You have a Path of Cirith Ungol. Is where you're going to get them. I forgot GW do middle of stuff. Yeah, that's how Games Workshop basically got its big start. I say its big start. Selling Lord of the Rings miniatures really kicked off Warhammer, gave them a lot of profit that they then pumped into their Warhammer franchise. Then The Hobbit almost completely bankrupted them, apparently. Also, there's this cool thing here where you can build your own factions with Age of Sigmar. Actually, let's look at Middle-earth. Let's see how expensive herb sets usually are for them. I believe that they're generally a bit more expensive. But I don't know. Start here. Like, you got this set, £140. You get a lot of models in it. Battle Host, £58. Oh no, they're not too terrible. Get quite a lot of models, so it might be a decent price. I just know that because they have to do like effectively profit sharing with New Line Cinema and I think the Tolkien estate maybe as well. They can't exactly make them be the cheapest things. Lord of the Rings still does metal models, so I think they got rid of a lot of the old metal models and then brought them back. But yeah, see, there's things here. It's actually really fun that I've got this thing just after getting the Battle of Macragge set. And you got like the different battles you can play and the different mission rules. Like this one's off of Black Templars. Oh! Of a Battle of Macragge set. Field debris represents aircraft. Different rules and what you're meant to do. And also there's a massive battle between Chaos and Imperial Guard. Like, look at those Gorgemen. They've got a lot of those wyverns, the artillery pieces, and a bunch of hydras. And also, best Baneblade, the Shadow Sword. Eldari has more named characters than generic models. Doesn't surprise me, to be honest. Especially because we got the Phoenix Lords. Oh, they got one of each. Oh no, they don't. I thought that was a bombast then. They got 2 of the last cannons, 1 of the missile batteries. Bunch of chimeras, bunch of hellhounds, a rogue dawn, bunch of sentinels, and also, look, chaos. Big old warhound titan for them as well. Oh, Lord Discordant. And where's Abaddon? Abaddon right there, he's in the middle. Yeah. But the funny thing is when I looked at this, I'm like, who do you think's going to win this battle? The people with all the terrain, the shooting army that's got lots and lots of terrain on its side, or the more melee focused army that has absolutely no terrain to protect it? Like, this feels like such an unfair setup for a battle, doesn't it? Like, how does Chaos stand a chance here? Like... unless they state that, like, all of the craters act as, like, the smoke or whatever coming out of them, that block field of view, and provide cover. Oh, why did the guardsmen come out to cover here? No, it's just that usually when you have battles, it's generally good show to make sure that there's lots of terrain between you and the enemy. That's like the recommended way to do battles, because otherwise, like, any shooting army is just going to have a massive advantage. And on top of that, it also forces, it slows down melee armies. So it provides benefits to both sides, having the terrain in the way. Oh yeah, difficult terrain isn't a thing anymore, is it? Nope. Imperial Knights are special to me because my first exposure to 40k is Imperial Knight mobile game. Oh, I never even knew they had a mobile game. Or maybe I did, I just completely forgot. Oh yeah, and for those, if you play Tacticus and no one's used this code yet, there's a code here for you. Because I don't play Tacticus. But I know some of you guys do, so... if anyone wants that code, it's here. Yee. Nobody playing Tacticus. Actually, I know a couple of watchers do. Vince Falcador often does. I believe. I've been wondering, maybe I should try using this Magos purple instead. What's all these notifications about? You've delivered my parcel. Really? Warhammer 40k free blade. Oh. Magos are not purple. Magos? Purple. Citadel. This is made by Games Workshop. They're telling you that the Magos is purple. It was a rail shooter. Okay, that's a little bit more disappointing. Let's see, how would this look just going straight on? Can you even see it? Okay, this definitely needs a purple base to it. Or grey base. Oh, that looks like flesh, doesn't it? Looks like a piece of bacon. Nom nom nom. If you could force GW to make a 40k game, what kind of game would it be? I'd have to choose one that's not already out. I think a game like Skyrim open world RPG would be really cool. Where you can play as like any race. So like an like a rogue trader world. Like one of the border worlds that has Xenos trade on it. And as a result you can play as an orc, a human, or an Eldar. And then there's like multiple types of Elder you can play as, multiple types of human you can play as, like for your background kind of stuff. Potentially play as an Ogryn in it or whatever. But I imagine Ogryns wouldn't be playable. Imagine Ogryns, you could get like an Ogryn bodyguard. That would be cool. Yeah, I really like that. I mean, when I say like Skyrim, better combat than Skyrim. And it would definitely be more shooter focus. Conjuring a Wildest Fantasy just wants to play more modded Skyrim. Yeah! No, it'd be really fun if like you had this world and you could have it as like this relatively small world that doesn't have much of a climate outside of the cities. And the cities are relatively small and, you know, relatively spread out, and it's reliant on trade and mercenaries. And you could have like a Blood Axe gang there. A Blood Axe tribe, sorry. On the planet. 40,000 times the detail of Skyrim. She would make an Eldar. I would not make an Eldar. The Stormcloaks are the worst. Destroy the Stormcloaks. Oh gosh, what's happening to Cuptle? So Cuptle usually has to use like this API text-to-speech voice using VTS-POG, and usually it's through Stream Elements. But for Stream Elements, API is down for whatever reason. And as a result, I'm having to use like the only other 3 set of voices that are there, and one of them is Microsoft, the other is Animal Crossing speech. So, yeah. Those are the 2 choices. The other choices require me to pay for them, or are just AI, or both. People didn't like the sound of Cuptle with the Microsoft voices. So we're using Animal Crossing. He hasn't been insane since, the poor guy. Conjurer keeps him employed or for medical benefits. No! So yeah, I have been checking just to make sure that it's not down or whatever. Like, yep, it's down. If it wasn't down, Cuptle would have gone back to normal. And just press a little button to make Cuptle speak normally, in theory. I don't like the fact that it's a Stream Elements voice we're having to use, but there's not many options available for it. I could potentially figure out how to make my own text-to-speech thing, but I don't know how I'd be able to link it to Cuptle, VTS-POG program. If it stays down for a week, I'll look for alternatives. That hurt your ears more than sprinkles for Gamba. Do you want me to turn Cuptle down? There you go. Cuptle's been turned down, so I hope it doesn't hurt your ears. There you go. Every VTuber that has a TTS uses an awful Microsoft TTS. Conjuror had the best one until Cuptle drank one too many beers. Yeah. I did like Cuptle's voice. I'd spent a long time choosing voices for him and looking at all the different options available. Never understood the hype for beer. Me neither. I don't like alcohol. Alcohol is bad. It's evil. Maybe I should just give Cuptle a limiter because that still seemed like it went way too loud. Voters. Plus. Limiter. Okay. Okay, Cuptle's got a limiter on, so that should hopefully keep Cuptle a bit not hurting your ears. Let me test it. Was that too loud? Too quiet? I was like, hi French Puff, how you doing? Conjuror says stuff about alcohol, but in her law she has been selling during... No, I've been selling cola during the cola prohibition. Cola prohibition, not alcohol. In the world that Cupcake Conjuror, the cup boss comes from. Boss lady, there was no alcohol prohibition, it was just a cola prohibition. And she was selling the cola. And producing the cola. Hi Sparky, hi Tony, how is everybody? Because you all. The metaphor. What do you mean it's a look, look. Wait, that's the wrong one. Oh no, I got rid of it, didn't I? Or did I? No, no, it's here. It's here. There we go. Bye, cola. That's not a metaphor. Look, look, cola, cola, cola everywhere. Cola, cola everywhere. And all of it's to drink. Been a pretty good day. Yay! There we go. You only drink orange juice and the blood of your enemies. Coca-Cola stars. The cola stars are never running out. If you want to know, this is a screenshot from Dishonored that was slightly modified. Dishonored 2, by the way. Basically, just put a filter over it. Oh, what? I can't remember what the filter's called. It's like a sketch filter. And then... No, I only drink orange juice. I haven't seen this background in a while. Yeah, well, there's not really much reason to use it. Beep boop boop beep beep boop boop beep boop 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 boop boop. Only cola I drink is Coca-Cola Zero, and everyone hates me for it. Yeah, Coca-Cola Zero is evil. It's full of artificial sweetness. I can't have Coca-Cola Zero because it's full of sweetness. And sweetness are evil if they make my tummy go bads. Pepsi, though, is the most evil since they changed the original recipe to now be half sweetener without making it very clear. And I was like drinking it during the COVID times and I had no sense of taste. So I wasn't really aware, or at least I did realise the change in flavour, but I was like, oh, my sense of taste really is hitting hard. And then my tummy was really bad. But now I drink Coca-Cola, although that still has its issues. One other thing that makes sweetness bad is that even in normal people, if you have a lot of sweetness, it makes your tummy go all upsety spaghetti. So when you get someone like me who has actually tummy problems, you can imagine just how much it actually sets me off. We used to use cane sugar. We are robbed. Oh, we do use cane sugar. Well, actually, I think in Britain we either use cane sugar or beet sugar. But either way, it's the same type of sugar. It's glucose. Yeah. We don't use a high fructose corn syrup because that's illegal. In America and Canada, they use high fructose corn syrup. That is terrible. That is terrible. Don't drink high fructose corn syrup. Don't have artificial sweeteners. In fact, actually, a bunch of normal sweeteners are also bad. Just drink water. Actually, even in America, your water's not that good for you, is it? Like in those places where the tap water is completely undrinkable. And then your bottled water is full of microplastics and doesn't actually have a good health and safety standard on it. And then you have other tap water that you can set on fire because it's full of methane. Oh. I also used to use a funny white powder, but we don't talk about that. You could make the more tasteless change the world and Cupcon's stomach would still detect it at a ratio of 6 parts per million. To be honest, I can, like, with my water I have at the moment, I was like, why does this really taste really weird? And it's because they replaced some of the sugar with a not artificial sweetener, but they use so much tiny amount of it because it's so incredibly sweet. I'm like, I detect which has changed. I can't drink plain water. Not without eating food at the same time. So I drink flavoured water. Sparkling water is best flavour. Everything is corn in America. Yeah, that's why we have all them cornfields. Although in Britain we have a lot of cornfields, but for all wheat. We just call them cornfields. I think we called them cornfields before we discovered corn. Because I think corn comes from America, doesn't it? And that's why in Britain we still refer to wheat fields as cornfields. Corn gifts and for corn takes. Your poor kidneys. What do you mean my poor kidneys? Oh my gosh, please don't use too longer messages with Cuptle. Oh gosh. All of this seller like fangs. Like, oh, let's make a fruit-flavored soda, and then there comes Coca-Cola. Let's make our soda make you smell colours. And that's why it's named Coca-Cola. I mean, true enough, but you have to realise it didn't use that much of it in. They just thought it was like a good medicine that helped people. But what do you mean, my poor kidneys? My kidneys are fine. My liver has ridiculously high I say it's ridiculously high. My liver activity is sometimes high, but that turned out to be due to malnutrition and lack of vitamins. Oh, which is a very weird thing to say. I also have low blood sugar levels quite often, despite how much sugar I drink and eat. Very confusing. Don't think about it. Banana flavors used today are imitations of an extinct breed of banana. Yeah! We're literally eating ghost or an extinct plant. That's very 40k. Why is this message held for review? I'm hungry. Apparently YouTube doesn't like you being hungry. Being hungry is against YouTube's... what YouTube likes. I think YouTube just figured out how to solve world hunger. Just make hunger illegal and then no one's allowed to be hungry anymore. Like what? Why is it thinking that that should be something it's censoring? Oh, and it still doesn't taste good, so it went extinct. Oh, what do you mean? Banana flavored sweets are amazing. Way better than stupid real bananas. Maybe copy and pasted the message. I don't think so. I think it's a very simple. It's not like it was spammed either. Oh. But yeah, YouTube's decided you're no longer allowed to be hungry. Next YouTube will be like, maybe we should just ban being poor. That'll fix all the issues in the world. What YouTube is choosing to censor and hold for review is super crazy. I've had people swearing in stream and doing spam and all sorts, and it's not censored them at all. And then it's just got people saying normal things, and it's like, what? No, no, don't eat me! Don't eat me! No, no, no! No! Conjuror loves the chemical taste. I do love the chemical taste. I do have a weird love for the taste of chemicals. Welcome to our subscription model YouTube Gold, where you can only see comments of other YouTube Gold members. And also during a stream, when you pause for a whole stream, it's paused until you want to watch it. The streamer also has to stay still until you turn it back. Con. You eat your paints? No, no. Nom, nom, nom. Nom, 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 nom. YouTube Gold, only $129.99 a month. A month? I thought you were going to say a day. Oh my goodness. Bargain. It's one of those radium She didn't learn for... It's time. Can people stop pausing the stream? Gotta keep the brush. Tip thin. You do gotta keep the brush tip thin. And I love radiation. Nothing tastes better than radiation. Nothing tastes better than it. It's true. Radium. It's green and it glows. Just like your inside only knows. Radium. It's green and it glows. Just like your inside, it only knows. You do know, alpha radiation is usually harmless to you until you defeat it. In which case it's now inside you and all the alpha particles bounce around inside your body. Would be hilarious if you could buy premium movie pass where they pause the movie at the cinema when you go to the bathroom. Oh my goodness. Oh, could you imagine if they include you can buy a film on a subscription service, but like you buy the film, no one else can watch it. I have to ask you for permission to stream it. And then you can just be like, no, pay me. Oh, that'd be stupid. That's it, pauses your stream at the end screen. No! By the way, Skyrim Elder Scrolls has a tabletop war game with models and stuff. It does. They're just Stormcloaks are the worst. If they're not, then they have to be. We have to get them to change the board game. The Stormcloaks are the worst. And in theory, they should be the worst. They don't use mages, the Empire uses mages. The Empire has access to crossbows, and orcs, and orc forges, and orc armorers. They've got the Thalamar helping them. Skyrim has the home advantage, so it has numbers. But even then, many people in Skyrim are on the side of the Empire and fighting with the Empire, so the Stormcloaks actually don't have numbers. And they don't have a home advantage. Seeing how Starfield came out, it would surprise me if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out to the next 5 years. It will surprise me if Elder Scrolls 6 is even a good game. I need to find a different game to Skyrim that's highly moddable. And it's not a clunky mess like Old Oblivion. Just gotta ride ESO off to the sunset. Skyrim tabletop war game with a guy who buys a $300 Dragonborn mini instantly wins. No. You have to buy the Dragonborn mini. Then you have to buy each of its out separately. Oh, so it needs at least one DLC outfit. Horse Armor expansion pack. You know, they would. There we go. You know, as much as everyone loves Valve, they're the ones that really started it all. Actually, for now. I'd actually be happy because that's what Warhammer does with Marine chapters. What do you mean they do that with Marine chapters? If you say anything about TF2 hats, actually it's that one game, CSGO or whatever. That's a bad one. I'm also gonna look up Skyrim board war game. Skyrim Cause to Arm game. Adventure board game. £137.50. Launched at £152.50. What does it even have in it? Skyrim Cause to Arm for fortune hunters. Oh my gosh, why is this 43 quid for 6 miniatures? Are they already painted? Do they come painted? I like how I'm saying why are 6 miniatures 43 quid and I play Warhammer. But they're normal humans. They're not like Raffers Marines or Terminators. They are unpainted. Oh my goodness. Do you want to see what these models are like? Here we go. There's a Frostbite Spider for £28. There's a bundle. Hard plastic set. Resin expansions. Oh, for resin models. Card to Arms Dragonborn is 15 quid. Sold out. Oh my goodness. The terrain is kind of cool though. Wait, why didn't it show? Okay, there you go. It should have showed, sorry. It didn't work. I was too busy just looking at the models. Yeah, 43 quid for 6 models. Don't know how big they are. 6 resin figures. I mean, for resins, that might explain why they're more expensive. There we go. Then you've got like Frostbite Spider here for £28. Oh my goodness. And where's the Dragonborn again? It's sold out. There's a Dragon Priest. Oh, there's a Giant for £32. Click, click. I want to see it. There we go. The starter set has a mint transparent mini you're not supposed to paint. Oh no, does this actually have a starter set in it? I'm trying to look for the starter set. Got terrain sets. The terrain sets look kind of cool though. Okay, rules book. Starter set bundle with revised rule book. Okay, what does it have in it? Rulebook. It's got these 6 miniatures. Got Imperial. You've got an Imperial Mage there too. A transparent Dragonborn Spirit model. 6, 8 Draga. Oh, is that a Dragonborn in the middle of them? So 7 Draga and a Dragonborn. Would I unironically buy terrain for Warhammer? Same way I was thinking of that. I've only got 5 Stormcloaks. 1 is an archer. It comes with a Bleak Falls Barrel set, which is 7 Draga. So you got 7 models, plus another 5, plus another 5. You got 17 models or 110 quid. And a rule book. No terrain. To be honest, I think the Warhammer starter set's a bit better. And to be honest, it is kind of cool. It doesn't look like you're meant to play with large armies. SDL, and we do have printed ones. Cicero. It's a very weird way of doing the game, though. Like, I don't know if I like the fact it's got characters that, you know, can die from the game. Shows 5 models, these 6 models. Which ones does this say? You can buy Cicero. No, that's for STL, so you have to print him yourself. It's a 3D print thing. Call to Arms chapter pack. Unfortunately, this is not a very good website I'm looking at for it. Yeah, it's a very weird game. Like, if we compare it to Warhammer Quest, that's coming out next week, I think I pretty much prefer this starter set. Got a rule book, loads of cool models. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Wait, 4, 8, 12, 14. Another 14. Another 8. And then all of these things. This is a way cooler set. Game series. No, that's because I just go onto a website and it automatically appears on the stream. Feels like it's made for skirmish games like Kill Team and Warcry. Yeah. I can definitely see the market for that game. Some of the models look kind of cool. But if I'm honest with you, a lot of them look more like, you know, scaled down action figures. rather than, I mean, at least looking at those pictures, it was hard to see really good detail on them. It didn't look like super detailed models or anything. Well, some of them did, actually. A bunch of the people models didn't really sell me on the game. The Dragon Priest looked pretty cool, though. And so did the, Frostbite Spider. I kind of want to look at the Fallout game that was there. I've heard a lot more about the Fallout game. I knew Skyrim got a board game, but I thought it was just a normal board game. I actually think they do just have a normal board game. Like, do you know, you're not meant to paint the miniatures or anything. You just play with family. Maybe one day. I think the main appeal is the IP. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll get up and paint up the Monster Hunter board game just because I want those monster minis. The Monster Hunter one looks cool because of the monster minis. I feel like Skyrim needs something more like that for it, like the dragons. I didn't see any dragons there. I saw the giant. The giant was fine. Hi, Bob, by the way. The giant looked okay, but again, it looked kind of boring. They didn't have the they don't like have the goofiness of old Warhammer, and they don't have the dynamic appearance of modern Warhammer and similar games to like Warhammer. I think they really just wanted to focus on making it more recognizable and trying to sell them on being cool. Like the Frostbite Spider is just stood there. Would have looked so much cooler if it was like, you know, trying to do something. Or be threatening or whatever. In fact, I am wondering. No, it didn't look like that for Cicero. I was just wondering if like some of the character models were literally if they just took the game models and just changed them a little bit and, you know, used them as the template for the models that they would actually sell. Because I do know like some companies have done that. Well, for people didn't look too much like that, but it is possible to change the detail on them. Yeah, I'm also surprised there wasn't a dragon for the Elder Scrolls game. Missed opportunity. Yeah, it's true. The saber-tooths actually looked cool, but that's because they did make them look a bit, you know, more dynamic and they weren't just stood there. They were kind of like prowling, ready to pounce. But they didn't look like anything special though. Like I could just buy a saber-tooth thing from like a kid's store or whatever. The mage they had for, do you know, the Imperials, that one looked cool with the fire in the hands. And then I wonder, why didn't we get that in the actual video game? Because I know people did add them in with mods, you know, for Empire having access to magic. And they even had like low, at least the mods I use, there's a low chance of the Nords getting like a ice wizard in their little armies. But there's a high chance that the Empire will have various wizards. Mostly fire wizards. And orcs. But that's all with mods. And the funny thing is, there's actually a bunch of voice files in the game. Oh, wrong one. There we go. To be fair, the werewolf model for Morrowind was reused for Daedalus in Oblivion, which were reused for Deathclaws in Fallout 3 and Neophagus, which were reused for Skyrim werewolf model, which were released for Fallout 4. Reused for Fallout 4. So they already used the same skeleton then. Oh, you're sure? Because the Deathclaws in Fallout 4 seem to have a different posing than the werewolves in... I mean, I guess they're not necessarily using the same animation. Nord hate mages, so Stormcloaks. Not all Nords hate mages, but there are less mages. But there's still plenty of magic within Skyrim. Like the temple, not the temple, the school for magic. That only has one Nord in it, or at least one new Nord. Well, you got to remember, not all of the Stormcloaks are Nords, and it's like if there's one person in a city, of this 14 people in a city, it's actually representative of more like a city of 1,400 people, and that the college probably has hundreds of students, and the Nords are probably a minority in there. We also, if you go around Skyrim, especially the place where the college sends you to go after a bunch of people who were like ex-students to get some books back, for a bunch of Nord mages there can spawn. So this shows that there are definitely Nord mages, and they're not Ulfric is not going to push away. The people in Dawnstar might, the Jarl there, but Ulfric is not going to say, no, you can't join my army because you use magic. It's like, he wants every single bit of power that he can get. But the likelihood of the Stormcloaks having magic in their armies is much, much lower than the Imperials have, which is why most of the mods that do that sort of stuff only have a very low chance of Stormcloak mages spawning, but a high chance of Imperial mages spawning. Bethesda has many skeletons in their closet that they keep reusing. Stormcloaks are too broke to be racist. I mean, that's kind of true in actuality. If you listen to the conversations that Ulfric has with Golemar and with other people, especially if you have a mod that makes characters move around more, so that Ulfric can talk to people that he normally wouldn't ever talk to, and Golemar can too, and actually just various people around Windhelm, you'll actually find that, yeah, they actively can't afford to be racist. They are racist to some extent, and they are like anti-this and anti-that, but the ultimate thing is we need to rely upon these people. We can't just turn it away. Like, we can't just turn away all the Dark Elves, and we can't just turn our backs on them. It's one of the big things. Because they're just too important to the city and to its economy and everything else. But then they also do have a thing of saying, of basically pushing the blame of the Grey Quarter onto the Dark Elves. I'm saying the Dark Elves are the ones that made the Grey Quarter such a mess. Which is actually... what's it called? Taking things of New York itself and old, gang culture and stuff. Stormcloaks are 2. Stormcloaks aren't broke. The Thalmors are funding them. They are kind of broke. They need people. They need food. They recognize. So one of the big things about the Stormcloaks is, yeah, they might be getting funded. The Empire is also funding the Empire side of things, but both of them do not have the funds and people needed to maintain a war for an extended period of time. The main thing is that they need food, they need trade, they need a lot of stuff going on. With the war, trade has been cut massively. And so has migration of people. And as a result, that has hit a lot of the different cities quite hard. Despite this, both the Empire and the Stormcloaks have continued to try and push trade between even warring cities, as you can see in Windhelm and Solitude, especially Windhelm. But then their own infighting of their own populations are not helping that trade itself, such as the rise in piracy, which is then being funded by their own people that they are funding. So Stormcloaks are funding the trading one of the trading companies in or what have they called them? The Hammer people or whatever. Oh, you do a quest line. His daughter died in that Blood and Fire quest or whatever, Blood and Ice. But then he was using money he was getting from Ulfric to then fund pirates to attack the Imperial Trade Company. But they were reliant on the Imperial Trade Company to get lots of trade resources into the city. Please, Dragon Ball, my faction is kind of broke. Ulfric is homeless. Our faction leader is begging for money on the streets. Please, Dragon Ball. No, it's not that bad. But the thing is, it is best to realise that the Stormcloaks can't really afford to turn away too much. They're reliant on the Dark Elves for a lot of work and the Argonians. They can't exactly just stop them being around. They, And also you have to remember that the Stormcloaks have a mage in every single one of their cities. And are actually even friends of the mages. Like, remember that Ulfric is kind of friends with his personal mage. Do you know the one that you can imprison temporarily? I like him. He's a fun dude. You've then got, what's his name as well? Dawnstar, which was saying they might not accept mages. They actually would. Because, as racist and as terrible as the Jarl of Dawnstar is, he actually wanted his court mage to join the war and fight for them. So again, they're not going to just run away and turn away mages. And even he recognised that they needed magic and stuff on their side. And that the war was not necessarily always going well for them. Although he was mostly in denial about that. While his advisors were not. I support the Empire. I also support Hamster. Me on my way to the Thalmor embassy, knowing full well I'm part of the companions in a circle and I haven't let the wolf out in a while. Oh no. Oh no. Heimska's the worst. Mostly just because he's super loud and annoying. It's like, oh, this is cool world building. And then you just get to the point of, no, he's loud, he's annoying. I'm joining the Empire just to shut up Heimska. Oh no, he continues even after the Empire fully takes over Whiterun. And then you have to install a mod to get Heimska to shut up forever. Or, you know, you can just assassinate him, but that feels a bit too mean. And by shut up forever, I mean you can throw him in prison. I think he even has dialogue for being in prison. There's a lot of unused dialogue in Warhammer in Skyrim. In fact, a lot of it's technically not even unused. You can actually just see it in the normal game. But it requires some very specific conditions that you're very unlikely to see unless you force them. Such as two characters that can have conversations, but they actually just never meet in the normal game. Unless you push them together. Quite literally have to pick them up and push them. Oh gosh. But yeah. It's a very weird thing, Skyrim. I used to be like a full Empire supporter. Like at first you kind of want to join the Stormcloaks, but then you start hearing about the Stormcloaks and you go to like the Stormcloak cities and you're like, oh. And you go to Markov and you hear about the Silverbloods and stuff and it's like, yeah, the current Jarl's not great, but I don't want a Silverblood in charge. And then you go to Riften and it's like, at least also the Silverbloods don't control the Jarl of Markov. They might have a lot of pressure, but they don't quite control him. And then you go to Rift and you go, yeah, I don't want Maven to become the Jarl, but she's effectively already the Jarl. She's got the Jarl affair completely twisted under her finger. But when it comes down to it, I'm on the side of Tullius. Not necessarily wanting for war. He just doesn't want for civil war to happen. It's like, this war's pointless. There's no winning it. Even if we win, it's pointless. Even if the Stormcloaks win, it's pointless. Nothing changes, really. And that's where I'm at. It's like, yeah, the more you look at it, the more you realise the war benefits no one but the Thalmor. Now, the Thalmor don't want anyone to win. They want the war to continue forever. And whoever wins, ultimately, it doesn't really matter for the Thalmor. Because either way, it weakens the Empire and it weakens the Stormcloaks. The only victor is the Thalmor. But having a victor is better than having none. And it just continuing forever, effectively, until the Thalmor put their plans into action. Very weird. The Empire is also red-coloured, so they're evil. They're communists! You played the Stormcloaks as they asked for it. I mean, that's kind of how it is. Like, the Storm... No, one of the things that I actually... At first, I kind of liked the Stormcloaks, but... And I probably would have joined them first, but my first playthrough of Skyrim, the Empire guy who helps you is the guy I ended up going with. Because he helps you survive through the city, and I just continued following him. And I also didn't like how the other guy talked about some of the people. You know, the Stormcloak one? Like, like, he was mean about the poor guy who, you know, ran away. Like, what do you mean you're calling him a coward? He was just living his life. And got caught up in somebody else's game. It's like, yeah, he's a coward, but I can't blame him for being scared in that situation. Then again, for Jarl, Bargruth gets dethroned on the Stormcloaks run. I do like Jarl Bargruth, and I really don't like his successor if you go play the Stormcloaks. This is why I take matters into my own hands, or pause in this case, rip and tear until it's done, do music kicks in. When it comes down to it, the one thing I like about the Empire is that I prefer their Jarls to anybody else's. England is great in Morthal. The person in charge of Markov is just better. He's not great, but he's better than the alternative. The getting rid of the Dawnstar guy is just good. Getting rid of the Winterhold guy is just good. Who else is there? Jarl Bargruth is better than his successor, in my opinion. I don't, but that's more just because I like Jarl Bargruth better. The other guy's just stuck up. Jerk. I'm not necessarily sure that Ulfric is actually better than... is actually worse than the guy who will replace him. Because the guy who replaces him kind of feels a bit naive, you know? Who else are the other lords? You've got... then you got Solitude. Who replaces Jarl Alyssif in Solitude? Oh no, she stays in Solitude. Either way, she's basically just a puppet. Although I do like Tullius. Tullius does seem like he's got his head screwed on right. And while he doesn't know a lot about Nords, he does take the advice of what's-her-face close to heart. So he listens to her. So I think between Elisif, Tullius, and whatever her name is. I keep forgetting her name. I know it. I think they're actually relatively good. But who replaces... You've then got Morthal, Markov, Whiterun, Solitude. Am I missing something else on the Empire side? I'm pretty sure I am. Hi, Clemoniac. Morthal. Markov is down there. Solitude's up there. Whiterun is there. Falkreath. Ooh, Falkreath. I don't really like either of the Jarls of Falkreath. They're both kind of terrible. One of them is a paranoid person keeping, you know, vampire secret. The other person is a corrupt but young Jarl. Well, a young and corrupt Jarl who fancies himself. Neither of them are very good options. And then what else do we have? On the Empire side, on the Stormcloak side, though, you've got Windhelm, Dawnstar, Winterhold, and then Riften. Riften, it doesn't really matter who is in charge because either way, it's Maven. Winterhold and Dawnstar, the people who replace them there are just straight up better. And while I don't necessarily know that the guy who replaces Ulfric is going to be any good, he does at least have his heart in the right place. So overall, it feels like it's better that the Empire wins. On top of this, the Empire is interested in continuing trade with the neighbouring regions, including Blackmarsh and the Dark Elves, and keeping good relations with them. Meanwhile, Ulfric seems very set on having bad relations with the Dark Elves and the Argonians in Blackmarsh. And that doesn't sound very good. So all in all, it does feel like it's just better if the Empire wins. Actually, yeah, Falkreath is my favourite city in Skyrim. by quite a long way. I know that it's not that good in the base game, but I just love Valkyrie. I love the feel. I don't know what it is about Valkyrie that I just love. It's got the nice mountain ranges that you can see from one side. It's got the access to the cold tundra forest. It's got a nice graveyard. I like a bunch of the characters and quests that revolve around Valkyrie as well, except what's his name for the dog annoys me. Hi, Longstocks! Explosion! And I mean, you become Jarl of Valkyrie after retiring the previous owner. Yeah! Also, the Lakeside Manor in Valkyrie is probably the best manor in the game. Riften I actually really like. At first I wasn't a big fan of Riften, but especially with the Dawnguard DLC, Riften actually is a relatively nice city, especially if you play it with survival and no fast travel and stuff. Like, it's one of the more populated or densely populated cities. It's got the nice farm right outside it and the stable on the other side, and another farm right next to it too. It's near an orc stronghold. It's a very busy area. It's not that far from Iverstead either. And it's got the nice roads that go through the mountain pass to where Helgen is and to the border with Cyrodiil. And then, like, the thing that goes down to Blackmarsh area. It's also got the nice lakes and the Honeymead place. Lots of quests and stuff occur there. There's lots of traders. It's a very nice place. It's legitimately one of the best cities. One of the mods I do often use adds, like, more crime in Riften occurring. And I think it's actually a base game chance of something occurring. It just basically makes it happen more often. Because you're rarely ever going to see it, if ever, in the base game normally. Famous Stormcloak, the Imperial Discussion. Yeek! That's what we're doing today. And by the time, yeah, Riften is a kind of pretty both outside and in, too bad it's also infested. Yeah, it's very pretty. I just like Riften. It's also just got lots of character going on. It's probably one of the best built designed cities that they have in the entire game. Valkyrie I actually like because it's also got a lot of character, but most of the character from Valkyrie comes from dialogue. It's not necessarily reflected in Valkyrie itself, because Valkyrie is just such a poorly designed town. Like, it's meant to have this massive graveyard and it's tiny. It's got multiple farms that barely have any farmland to them. It felt like an afterthought with designing Valkyrie, but then it's also got a lot of quests and stuff around it and a lot of really cool, interesting sites around it. So it makes it feel weird that Valkyrie is just so underdesigned. So I like generally mods like Valkyrie is often like the first city which I put expansion mods on. Where Riften is probably for one of the few cities where I don't do expansion mods. The only ones I do is like outside the city, or do extra people walking around the city. Whiterun. The main thing about Whiterun is it's disappointing. Like, Valkyrie, there's like a bit of a disassociation between what people talk about the city and then how the city actually is. But you don't really notice it unless you start looking too hard at Valkyrie, because so much of it is just kind of backgroundy. Both the city itself is just background and the dialogue itself feels backgroundy. But with Whiterun, there's so much focus on Whiterun that you're forced to look closely at Whiterun. And there's so much dialogue about its importance that you're forced to effectively put side by side what you see and what you're told. And Whiterun does not feel like the central hub of Skyrim. It should be the largest population, or at least second largest population. Should have thousands of trade caravans and all sorts going on. It's like, it's got nothing to it. It's just... Oh... I mean, there's actually a lot to it. Like, you got the big Dragon's Reach thing, and it's really nicely designed in lots of areas. It's just... It just doesn't feel like the central hub of the entire Skyrim. Falkreath is being so deep in the forest gives it such a wonderful mystical feel. Of course, there's so much weird stuff happening there too. Yeah! And the other thing I like about it, it's got a few unique buildings. I mean, they're not very unique, but they got like just a little bit of an extra design added to them. And it's just that extra touch to the buildings that gives it a bit of a nice feel. And like a bit... And it's not like it's changed much compared to other cities, but it's just changed enough where you do notice it, you do feel it. Marvel is nice in which it's got a lot of atmosphere to it, but it's just too small. Like, Falkreath has the benefit of it's got 2 sawmills, both the sawmill at Falkreath and then for one outside of it. It's got a general store, the other vampire mill I'm talking about. Then it's got a proper general store, it's got a proper blacksmith. It's got, and you have to walk through the entire Falkreath effectively if you're going through the normal questline way of doing things to get to the Jarl's house. It's also got a proper... You interact with a lot more of Falkreath, I think, is a big thing. Like, you're forced to go to every single bit. Marvel, you basically just go to the Jarl's house and to one other person's house. My favourite memory of Skyrim is taking a pilgrimage from Whiterun to the College of Magic to make the NPC shut up about me joining it. And when I got there, it became Indiana Jones. Yeah, it's weird. I like the Imperial City, which is supposed to be the biggest city of Tamriel, but it's very small in Oblivion. Yeah, it feels very weird. I've only played it in the rework. I mean, it does feel kind of like it's a city. Like, if it was in Skyrim, it would feel like an absolutely massive city. And after playing Skyrim and then going to, like, the remake of Oblivion and just... It does feel like a massive city compared to anything we get in Skyrim. But once you start travelling around it and getting used to everything, you realise just how small it is, especially in terms of population. It's nice that it's got a bunch of basically no-name NPCs there that just respawn. But there's not that many of them. And it is all based on the limitations of the time, and it came out years and years ago originally. You then became the leader of the College of Magic as a sword and board warrior. To join the Stormcloaks, I will in the afterlife, just gotta make sure it's full first. Oh gosh. There's I don't know. About Skyrim. I think I got some paint under the metal. Oof. So I'm trying to think of the other cities. Like Marvel feels kind of nice. It just feels a bit too empty. Like, you don't have a general store in Marvel, you don't have a blacksmith. You do get the sawmill, but that's over the bridge and kind of feels separated. You do have a proper mage there, which is nice, because you don't get that in, like, Falkreath. And there's a mining site near Morphle. But what I think generally what makes Morphle feel really small is that there's a lack of like connection to it to everything else. And because it's the road of Morphle is really dangerous, like wherever you go down it. So you don't really want to travel around the roads, meaning you don't really get to see like the mine and stuff that often. Where Valkyrie's roads are dangerous, but not too dangerous, especially to an underleveled warrior. They're generally more populated as well. My favourite questline was the Companions one, until they turned me into a furry. I loved the idea of being a werewolf, but I hated playing as one. I loved the ideas of the Companions. I loved the ideas of being able to become a werewolf, but I didn't like the fact that the two were forced together, especially when you had a specific quest line focused on werewolves. I don't think they should have ever forced you to become a werewolf playing as the Companions. I think that was just a bad idea. Like, yeah, maybe the Companions being werewolves can be part of the story, but you shouldn't be forced to become one. And if you want to become one, you can either do so through the Companions, or you can do so separate. And I also don't like the fact that if I want to be a werewolf, I have to join the Companions. I should just be able to do the Hercene questline and, you know, work with this werewolf and become a werewolf that way. I also don't like the quest line too much because I don't understand why the Silver Hands are meant to be bad guys. They don't really feel like bad guys. I feel like the what's it called questline, the Companions questline should and may have originally been planned to be more like the Dawn Guard questline, where you join the Dawn Guard and then you can join the vampire faction partway through the quest. Or you can continue with the Dawn Guard. And it would have been fun if you join the Companions, you realise the werewolves, and you can choose to join the Silver Hand and find out that they're all ex-companions who chose not to take the wolf blood. And it's like, oh, and you can potentially like wipe out or heal for other companions and, you know, reinstate all these old Silver Hands. Yeah. Wait, are they called the Silver Hands? Yeah, they're called the Silver Hands. It's the Silver Bloods who are the terrible Markov guys. Best City, Dawnstar, Infinite Merchant, Loot Chest. There's a few of them around. There's one outside of Markov too. Markov is a fun city and I really loved it the first time I went. And I still like it today. There's two reasons I don't like it though. One of them is because of the way it's built. It's very hard to actually mod it to make it bigger. The second reason is I am actually not too sure. I think it's just like the lack of stuff going on within it. Like after you do the first initial quest, and it's like one of the merchants that are there has a good chance of being killed off unless you save. Well, no, they don't have a good chance of being killed off. You got two merchants. One of them sells jewellery. One of them sells meat. You've then got your normal merchant. You've then got two blacksmiths, and that's nice having two blacksmiths. You've got your mage, which is nice. You got your priest. I think it's partly because everything is so separated from one another and everything's so multi-tiered. It's basically, there's a lot there, it's just more spread out. And as a result, it feels more empty. And I think that's a big thing about Markov. Also, none of the characters are fun. When you're walking around Markov, your chances of being insulted by someone is really high. Or basically walking into someone who's just really rude. It's massive. Riften, you also get the same thing, but you've also got a lot more friendly faces there as well. Right, guy over there. Hello, what's up? Big love hearts. We're talking about Skyrim. And I'm not painting, instead I'm just talking. Dawnstar makes me think of one sword that looks like the sun, which I used 80% of my playtime. Oh, the one that you get from Meridia. Meridia's Beacon. The Dawn Blade or whatever. I could never use that blade because I always became a vampire and it always like sets you on fire whenever you use it. I do love the weapon, it's just whenever you play as undead, it always kills you. A new hand touches the beacon. Dawnstar used to have a mobile game about it. Like a really, really old mobile game, like one of the first mobile games. It was like before smartphones. And it was before Skyrim came out. And it was all about like these weird ice creatures attacking you. With that, I kind of learnt to like Dawnstar a bit more. It also has one of my favourite quest lines, and that's the Daedra one, do you know, the priest? Oh, what's she called? Begins with an N. Is it an N? No, no, it's not Boethia. It's not Nocturne. Oh, what's she called? Vermidia. That's my favourite one for sleeping Daedra, the Nightmare Daedra, and I really love the Daedric weapon you can get from it, but I also just like the priest. As much as I like the Daedric weapon and following Vermidia, I just like the priest more. I can never kill him. He's like, oh, but he's such a cutie pie. I like this dude. I'm not gonna kill him. He's my best friend. No words, Tyranid of Skyrim's choruses. A new hand touches the beacon was a running gag I forced on the channel when I helped Conjuror make thumbnails and shorts. Yep. You are hiding the beacon everywhere. But it's but the Dawnstar feels really no, it doesn't feel too empty. It's got quite a lot of quests, but a lot of them are quite late game. It's like you've got the I say late game. We're not in the super early game anyway. You've got the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary there. You've got the Mayrune's Daedra quest line. You have the Vermidia quest line. The Jarl absolutely sucks there though, and you don't have a general merchant normally there, and that like really weakens it. You have a blacksmith, which is nice, and you're very likely to see the Kashyyyk there. If you're playing with survival like thermal mods on, it can be quite a hard place to live. I like the ships and stuff, but I did like it when I found a mod that makes it so the ships can move and change every so often, and you can have merchant ships appearing there. That was my favourite. One of my favourite mods that made Dawnstar feel a lot more lived in. Unfortunately, one of the mods that gave Dawnstar a really good expansion was unfortunately really glitched out to where some of the characters would just disappear and never come back. Like, you know, general merchants and stuff. Oh yeah, have an apothecary there as well. And you've got the mining site there. The mining site's nice. Like, Dawnstar is one of the best places. If you're playing with mods that, like, make it more immersive, where you can just, like, be a worker and stuff, rather than for Dragonborn, it's a really good place just basically, like, have a Dragonborn to earn a living, because you've got 2 different mining sites. I feel like I'm listening to a Spanish conversation. I'm sorry. The last time it ever took all items. Oh yeah, with a Meridia quest. Yeah, as much as I do like her quest, I don't always like getting the quest lines forced onto me. So I often ignore just taking the beacon. You just lost. No, you're just over there. What else is there? Oh no. Dawnstar feels like it's lacking just a lot of stuff. Like it feels like it was meant to have more there. Oh, the other thing about Dawnstar is just how angry the characters are there as well. Like everyone seems upset about something, whether it be about the wives or husbands or ex-wives or ex-husbands. The ship captain being annoyed about his crew. The Jarl and the Mage being annoyed at one another. Everyone is just angry there, and as a result, it's not one of the best places to stay. Like if you're staying around there for a while, you just constantly get the same annoyed things. It just grates on you a little bit. I said go base Skyrim and come back. Oh, mums, that's a base story only. Because ADHD will claim you. Yeah. And that's if you don't get into the modding scene. Actually, no. If you don't get into the modding scene, Skyrim is kind of meh. Personally. It's an open world game. I'll never get to the end. It took me ages to actually beat the main quest line just because I never bothered with it. Winterhold is by far the worst city in the game. Just got nothing going for it. I get that's kind of a point, but I feel like we could have at least done more to show its like former greatness. Oh, I just need to do the 200 plus quests and you'll understand everything. Yeah. I actually don't even need to do that much to really get a good grasp of what Skyrim is. That's what I'm saying. It happened with Fallout 4. It would happen with Skyrim. Fallout 4 was good. Fallout 4 is way better than Skyrim, like base game. With mods, Skyrim is arguably better. But Fallout definitely has a lot more jam-packed into it. Like when I first played Fallout, I didn't feel the need to mod the game. I did feel that need for Skyrim. But Skyrim, it just didn't feel like it has enough going on, you know. The world just feels a bit too empty. Everything feels just a bit too lacking. You played on consoles, it would be the base game. No, for special edition has mod support. If you go through via the Bethesda websites, it's not for best support. But still, you can get a lot of the big and best mods through on console nowadays. You don't even need to pay for the mods. There are special paid mods that are part of the Creation Club. Skyrim modders are literal wizards. Actually, that's one of the good things Bethesda did. It's not modders making it work on console, it's Bethesda just going, hey, we're launching the Bethesda website now for mods. If you upload your mods here, console players will be able to play with them. I never uploaded any mods there. I do enjoy modding Skyrim though, like making mods and stuff. It's just with all of... Every time they do an update that absolutely shatters and breaks mods though, it gets annoying. So I've kind of just quit Skyrim. I'm thinking about maybe just getting Skyrim on GOG. So I don't have to worry about it updating itself. Because I tried to stop Steam updating my Skyrim, but it updated it anyway. Because every time they basically decide, hey, we're updating the game, there's going to be like a group of modders who just never get around to fixing the mods for the new thing. And then you can either fix them yourself or just suffer. Like, every time Bethesda does something good, it has to, like, do something bad. I understand why they do that to some extent. Like, they go, hey, we've got new Creation Club content. And to basically make sure that it's not going to be messing with your game and reducing how many mods you can have, we're going to build it into the base game, whether you have this mod or not. And that just breaks every single mod that was reliant on the base game, which is all mods. And it's like, oh no. Well, the main thing I just like, it's like, it's such an old game, you shouldn't be releasing new content for it. Last time I took 20 hours to get a mod work properly again after an update. Never doing that again. I like making bash patches. And because I like making my own mods, when we were last playing Skyrim, I had this massive mod list. And to make sure all the mods worked together, I had a bash patch. But then what I did is I cooked all the mods, like a lot of different mods together, so that if one of them updated, it wouldn't break the entire thing. I wouldn't have, like, basically the mod wouldn't update because it's now part of just a new mega mod. But then when an update comes, it just breaks the mega mod. And when you got hundreds of these mods and stuff, it's just like, no, I'm not bothering with it. It's like, it's an old game. Why are you releasing new content for it? You're not Paradox. It's not like you're releasing new content every month. And somehow Paradox can release new content for all of their games like every single month without breaking every single mod. It's like, it's only the massive mods that updates, like the absolutely huge ones, where it completely changes the way the game works, that really breaks the mods massively. At least in my experience. to the same level that Skyrim breaks mods with just a tiny update. That's because they decide to update scripts. Like, I was thinking about maybe just like going back to Skyrim finally and getting my mod order working, or getting a new mod order, building it from scratch again. What set are you painting? Only thing I know about it is that it's a Tyranid. Oh, this is from the starter set. It's a Von Ryan's Leaper. I had 2 sets of Tyranids and the Leviathan set. And then I got 1 more through Combat Patrol. So I've got 9 of these bad boys to paint, although we've only got 6 undercoated. But yeah, this is like the prime from Ryan Leaper, so the leader of the squad. You can tell because it's got a big old horn on its head. I honestly absolutely love these Von Ryan Leapers. They're probably one of my favourite Tyranid models. Sad that it's only push fit. But we don't need push fit. But even then it's still good, I mean. I don't mind Tyranid being push fit as much as like other things. I would like the more ability to pose for models and stuff, but at the same time, Tyranids, they're hard creatures. But they have very little individuality, so I don't really mind them all looking the same. I kind of feel personally it adds to the Tyranids. It's a bit like the Necron Warriors. I don't mind them being push fit because they are a hard faction, but all the warriors are effectively the same as one another. They don't really have individuality. I would eat myself. On Ryan, imagine being a bug monster but called Ryan. No, they're actually funny. This is a reference to, I think it's 3rd edition Tyranids, where there's just a little bit in the codex saying Von Ryan Leapers are they Tyranids in reality. Death Leaper, but painted like one of that one Noise Marine model. I don't have a Death Leaper actually. I don't think I'm going to get a Death Leaper. I want to get one of the Biophars or Pyrophars. Because they're cool. I really like the new model. It's a lot more bug-like, which some people don't like, but I like it. Not even new. It's new to me, gosh darn it. That's because for years they had that silly metal model, which was okay. It was a big, beefy, expensive model, though. So that's kind of meh. The glam rock Noise Marine in his zebra print platform shoes. People have asked me to paint it the Lictor. I don't have a Lictor undercoated at the moment. People have asked for the Lictor to be painted in leopard print. So we'll get to that eventually at some point. You just have to remind me. I might do like a partial leopard print. Leopard print into turning invisible. Yeah, that guy over there's people. I'm thinking about having it like, so maybe like at the top it's normal, then it goes into like leopard print and then goes into whatever the ground is like around it. Or do you know, the metal? So like the leopard print is its partial camouflage. The Von Ryan Leapers. Oh yeah, the thing about the Von Ryan Leapers, they're like a monster. Or do you like just an animal that existed? And the biologists of the Imperium were wondered if they were actually Tyranids. And then eventually with 10th edition, we got Von Ryan Leapers. 7 editions later. I don't know if maybe we should do a camouflagey thing with these guys. I wasn't really thinking about it because they're not really lictors to the same extent where they actually, you know, disguise themselves and hide. Okay, my phone's vibrating. I don't know why. Just give me a moment, phone. I'll get to you. Discard. I feel like lictors need a more ornate base so you can paint them coming out the camo like in the Indovac. Or you can make the base more ornate if you want to. Like put bits of shrubberies and stuff around it. I found out Jurassic World Rebirth, or whatever it's called, was one of the highest grossing films of the year, like even more than Superman, and that really surprised me. Shows how strong the franchise is. Because I heard it wasn't a great film. And I've heard the Jurassic World series has been, you know, not the best received. But it seems to be making a lot of money. Also, if you look at the top 10 highest grossing films of the year, it's hilarious looking at them all having like budgets of 200 million. And then you just look at the Demon Slayer film, budget 20 million. And it's made like more money than, I think it's like top 5 or something is Demon Slayer for highest grossing films of the year. And it's like, what the heck is... Must have been a good film. Never knew Demon Slayer was that popular. Also, those animators need to be paid more. If for 20 million they could give you a film that made nearly £1 billion. Or $1 billion. My lore knowledge on Neepa is spotty at best. All I think is, hey, look, gene nicked us. They kind of are. I mean, they don't have the stealth ability, but I think they have infiltrate, which kind of suggests they have some sort of camouflage or infiltration skill. But unlike the normal lictor, they don't have. I don't think they have precision, and I don't think they have stealth. Or do like any of the other cool rules that the normal lictors have? I don't have a Tyranid codex, so I can't see it. Yeah. My Neurolicton painted. I didn't really think about painting this as camo, but at the same time, I think that, like, I like to imagine that it's camouflage. Isn't that it camouflages? It's just that it's got a psychic ability. It's purple. It's purple! That's why it can camouflage. It's invisible. No, it's because it's like using its big old mind brain to be like, blah, 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 blah. I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm not the Tyranid you're looking for. We also get a 6+ invulnerable. Oh yeah, because your normal Lictor and the Neuro Lictor has a 4+ invulnerable. I don't think the normal Lictor does, so I think only the Neuro does. I might be incorrect with that statement. You're gonna go, bye-bye, Dr. Smilex. Gene Stealers. Psychic enough to gaslight people. Yeek. Could you imagine? Like, do you know where the Jedi do those mind tricks and stuff, and for like, you don't want to sell me this illicit substance. You want to get your life in order. You want to go to college. Could you imagine, like, one day just waking up with that trance with a degree in hand and, like, a loving family and stuff? I'm like, what the heck happened? I need to get me some more of that Jedi mind trick. I need a Jedi to mind trick me, to pay attention, to focus. I went feral over Lictor in Firehat. Oh yeah, the Neuro Lictor. I don't know what I'm going to paint my other Neuro Lictor as. I'm thinking about maybe painting it in camo. But that's like the actual Neuro Lictor. Not a converted Neuro Lictor like I've got. Here. Yo, camo Lictor. Let me look at the new recruit page. New recruit page. New recruit. Oh, these guys. Go down. Bug with miniature pictures. It's fine. Go down. Go down to Tyranid. Cupcake Invasion Fleet, 4,000 points. Okay, Funvine Lictors have an invulnerable save of 6+. Yeah. Fights first. Oh no, they do have stealth. Okay, they do get stealth. I didn't think they did for some reason. Maybe just misread the rules at one point. Yeah, they get stealth, fight first, infiltrators, synapse. Great Devourer, Infantry, Vanguard Invader. Normal Lictors have Stealth, Lone Operative. Oh yeah, that's what they don't have. They don't have Lone Operative. Hello, Night Parade. How you doing? Big love heart. Pheromone Trails. They don't get the invulnerable save. But they have Lone Operative, so you can't target them unless you're really close. And they also have Synapse and Position. From Ryan Sleepers, do they get Position? No, they don't get Position. They can use a Heroic Intervention Stratagem. And Neuro Lictors, they have Lone Operative, Infiltrator, Stealth, Synapse. Psychological Saboteur, Aura, Neuro Disruptor, Feeder Tendrils, 4+ invulnerable save. Yeah, maybe we can paint them into some like camouflagey stuff. It's gonna post the abilities of a Lictus. Yeah. Maybe we can like do some camouflaging with them. That could be cool. Do you think we should? Like, it would be cool, like, if I paint that stone grey to, like, have the grey leading up to its foot and stuff. And, like, the brown of the ground extending up to here. That could be cool. Oh, there's a bit of sprue on his leg that's not being cut off. That's fine. Neurolictor is an EOD. What's an EOD, sorry? All I can think is like electro ordnance death. Area of effect. No, I'm losing explosive ordnance disposal. No. It's different. Area effect is not like an attack. It's just like weakens people around it. I think it's mostly a terror thing or something, like it causes things to rout. And it can get command points if something routs nearby it. It's a very, very good model. The main thing it lacks compared to a normal Lictor is it's not as deadly in melee. A normal Lictor is incredibly deadly. Although I find Neurolictors surprisingly are best hunting like vehicles and stuff like that. Like Sentinels, Caprisons, Speeders. They're good against like certain characters like Guardsman characters. Very, very good against Guardsmen actually. But when it comes to a lot of characters like Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Orcs, other Tyranids. Your Neurolictors, well, not your Neurolictors, your normal Lictors will often struggle to defeat a character. And it's very likely just to get killed trying to take them out. And there's often not really much benefit to just throwing your Lictor at a character. Oh, your normal Lictor's good at just like throw them into a... Your opponent's got 5 incursors. 5 random Space Marines, battle line ones. Intercessors. 5 intercessors just for objective play. Just throw a Lictor at them. It should pretty much deal with them. It should have a good chance of dealing with them anyway. And if they're better at just taking out a character's squad than they are actually of killing off the character itself. Neuro is only down in damage compared to other Lictors. It's in the range of its own synapse, so it's got strength 7. Doesn't it like what? I need to look up the stats now. Neurolictor. Not Neurolictor, new recruit. Yeah, the Neurolictor, the main thing about its damage is its damage 1. I believe the normal Lictor's damage 2. Yeah, the normal lictor gets 6 attack, strength 7, AP -2, damage 2, hits on 2's precision. It can get rapid ingress. Every time it kills a character, it gets 1 CP, command point, and it fights first. It's also toughness 6 with 6 wounds, 8-inch move. Neurolictor is only toughness 5, 7 wounds, 6 attacks, hits on 2, strength 6, AP -2, damage 1. And that's like a massive difference, especially since half the things you're going to play to it against are Space Marines. Yeah. Normal lictors are ridiculous if you get them in Synapse range, especially with that AP2. It also gets feeder tendrils. Does it also get for rapid ingress? No, it doesn't get for rapid ingress for free. In your command phase, select one enemy within 12 inches. It must take a battle shock test. That's one of the powerful things about the Neurolictor, especially just get behind the enemy lines and just force their objective holders to be battle shocked. And then while an enemy unit is within 12 inches of this model, if it is battle shocked, subtract 1 from the hit rolls. And each time a friendly Tyranid model makes an attack that targets the unit, add a 1 to the wound roll. So it's very powerful. But it's kind of easier to kill being only toughness 5, but it does have a 4+ invulnerable save to support it. And it does at least have the synapse keyword, so it spreads synapse where it is. But yeah, if you want something just to wipe out Space Marines or something like that, the normal lictor's far better. And it's also 10 points cheaper. But as we said, they're better used in consort with one another. Von Ryan's Leapers are 70 points. They're expensive as a Neurolictor. A normal lictor is 60 points, but you get 3 of them. They're toughness 5 with 3 wounds each. They each, though, get 6 attacks at strength 5, AP -1. So for 3 of them together, 18 attacks. They also have fights first. They do have the stealth, and they have an invulnerable save of 6+. 3 wounds each, 4+ armor save. So these guys are great because they can absolutely tear apart Guardsman squads, Arc squads, anything. Get them in Synapse range of your Neurolictor. It's ridiculous. Because then there'll be strength 6, wounding things on, like wounding Arcs on 3s, wounding Space Marines on 3s, wounding Guardsmen on 2s. Get the enemy battle shocked while a Neurolictor's nearby, and they're wounding on 2s against Space Marines. Yeah, mixing the Brain Tyrant and Shadow of the Warp, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Neurolictor has an incredible amount of, not viability. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Utility. Neurolictor has an incredible amount of utility, but you shouldn't be relying on it to do damage. And you shouldn't be relying on it to survive the enemy either by itself. Because that being only toughness 5 isn't that great, to be honest, for a model that's running around by itself with a big base. It's very likely to get killed. Well, support it with some Von Ryan Leapers. Give it a lictor to support as well, and it's going to be one of your best models. Stealth Assassinage, yay! Ironically, they are better at doing assassinations than the Inquisitor agents. But yeah, generally though, I wouldn't rely on these guys to do or pretty much any lictor to really assassinate anything that's not a guardsman character. Because most other things are just going to survive too well. They used to have rend and like devastating wound type things, so they could just completely ignore your armor save. I mean, this isn't to say that they aren't great at killing characters, it's just I wouldn't rely on it. And outside of guardsmen, I don't think precision is often going to even be best used against a character. Like as I said, a normal lictor can wipe out a squad of space marines, and I think that's got far more utility than killing the character who's leading that squad of space marines. Lictors do lone op better. Neurolictor is what you bring if you want to make your Shadow of a Warp blast go from annoying to nuclear. Yeah. It's not just that. You bring it into... If you go doing Vanguard Assault, Neurolictors, you have to bring. Between Lone Operative Stealth and their Shadow of a... Well, their Aura abilities... and just being a synapse thing themselves, they can make all of your normal Vanguard Assault models into just way more dangerous. Heck, even if you're not going Vanguard Assault, but you are bringing a bunch of lictors and, you know, other infiltrator things that run ahead of your main force, Neurolictor is never bad to bring. I mean, the main thing that I think makes it super devastating, though, is it's only 70 points for what it does. Like, yes, it is only toughness 5. Yes, if a bunch of guardsmen get within 18... Is it 12 or 18 inches for a lone operative? If they get in range to basically just shoot it, it's got a good chance of just getting deaded. I say a bunch of guardsmen just because guardsmen aren't the best at shooting things to death with just like a normal unit. So it's not like super overpowered, but for 70 points, it's just a unit you can throw into your army relatively harmlessly. And it has a great utility and ability just to completely devastate your opponent when used correctly. A skilled opponent will probably take it out pretty quickly before it can be too dangerous, which is fair enough. But for 70 points, they're going to have to focus fire that instead of something more important, or something that can actually do a lot of damage itself without relying on others. Hello, Mercury! So what I'm hearing is the Death Leaper deals with characters, but I don't know about the Death Leaper. I don't actually even know the Death Leaper's stats, but I imagine it's probably much better at killing characters. I imagine it's damage free. A Message from My Inner City, Darkest Light, and Omatasori. Ooh, they sound cool, like cool songs. Also listen to Synthetic Substitute, and you haven't done something. You haven't done something. You've done nothing. Oh, you haven't done nothing, sorry. That means you've done something. You've done something, you silly billies. Those songs are sampled from a lot of hip-hop musicians. Oh. Shows they've got good taste. I don't mind when musicians sample other musicians too much, to be honest. Because there's a lot of songs that I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have known existed without somebody sampling them. And I'm like, you know, I don't really like the song as a whole, but this one part's really nice. And then I find out it was just a sample from another song. It's like, oh, there's an entire song with that. Amazing. Like people complain, what's it called, about, do you know, TikTok? It's like, all these people coming from TikTok. It's like, yeah, what's wrong with that? You have to learn about music from somewhere. Definitely has similar stats in terms of damage, but the Infernal of the Neuro, and it has more horses battle shocks. Okay. And so it's a good utility thing, and I imagine it spreads synapse range being a character. Although actually, I don't think Old One Eye spreads synapse range, so maybe not. No, it's not a synapse keyworded. Oh. I thought the Death Leaper was good. Don't know how many points for Death Leaper is. I'm guessing 80 points. You never know with epic hero characters, because sometimes they're like, this guy's really cheap for what he does. And other times it's like, this guy's really expensive for what he does. I guess for 80 points, a lictor that forces more battle shocks isn't bad. Especially when used in conjunction with a neuro. Especially since it can be a warlord and a vanguard thing. Wait, can it be warlord? I think it can. One unit that I find quite funny in Tyranids, because it's not really used in the way that it was designed to be used, is the Neurogaunts. Like, people just use them as cheap infantry to capture objectives and tie up the enemy. But the real main use of them was to extend the synapse range. But the biggest thing I really don't like about Neurogaunts is how it felt like they were meant to work with a Neuro Tyrant, of you use a Neuro Tyrant to spread them to, spread synapse to Neurogaunts. And then the Neurogaunts ability activates off that, but then the, what's it called, FAQs tells you that you can't do that, and it's like, no! So now people just use them as just cheap fodder infantry like Gretchen. Which I feel is not what they were meant to be used for. We're meant to be used in a supporting role, not the first wave. you throw at the enemy. Oh, if you won Vanguard Assault Onslaught, it loses a rule that prevents it being a warlord. Okay, that's cool. I remember in Spar Size, the alternate build off the drop pod called Spread Synapse. Oh. Sounds a bit weird, to be honest, that you can spread synapse. I've only known it as not being able to spread synapse. Tyranids like have had a drop pod pretty much as long as I've been playing. But I don't think that they've had the spar size for that long. Maybe they have. Because I think the old drop pods used to be resin for Tyranids. And then they made the plastic version. I can't really remember, to be honest. Maybe there was the spar size. I know that there was a giant spar mines like that were this big or something like that you could get, and they were resin. And I kind of miss them. I want the giant spar mine that blasts with an apocalyptic blast marker. Actually, I don't know if they use the apocalyptic blast marker. I just want giant blast radius spar mines. Like, give me giant blast radius spar mines, Games Workshop. I want a spar mine that can bring down a Titan. Oh, I don't even know what the spar size does. I'm guessing it spawns spar mines. Not really looked at its rules, to be honest. How did your warlord Titan die? Well, you know those spar mines? Yeah. That's it. It blew the leg off. It's like, a lot of spar mines blew your Titan's leg off. No, we're just one really big spar mine. If we moved Synapse model within range of it in 8th and 9th, it would get the keyword and therefore the ability. Oh! If we are too close enough, they could then move away and they would hold it permanently. Okay, that sounds kind of cool, to be honest. Kind of see why they might have gotten rid of the rule eventually, but... like, imagine it would be pretty annoying. Do you think Elictus would struggle disappearing on dusty planets? Like, imagine a planet with a lot of dust. So the Lictor gets covered in dust. But it's not like sandstorm levels of dust. They can still see pretty well. But you just get covered in dust eventually. And suddenly the Lictor can't camouflage fully into things anymore because it's just covered in this dust. Everything else is also covered in the dust. But it's just like purpose. It's like forming an outline of a Lictor pretty well. Oh, and then you have the Dust Wanderers. The people who live within the dust and like have camoed armor and stuff. And they hunt within the dust, so they're very like light footstepped because they're very used to like having to hunt and stay alive from like, you know, June-like worms, tremors. And they like hide the scent and stuff, and then the Lictors being hunted by these things. Oh, that'll be really cool story. Like from the lictor's point of view of it being hunted by these hunters who are better than it on this planet. This was funny in 9th when the synaptic link chain was a thing. Each synaptic unit had 12 inches around it that it could pass abilities and spells through, so a spell could cast from miles away. That sounds pretty cool, I guess. And at least there, you're using it how it's meant to be used. I've never seen anyone run Neurogants where they actively were wanting to use the Neurogants for the special ability. I've seen people use the Neurogant special ability, but that's just more by happen chance rather than they were actively wanting to do that throughout the game and at the start of the game. Tyranid stay daisy chaining. They do stay daisy chaining, it just doesn't really feel like there's much point to it at the moment. They can, it's just, why would you? The Neuro Tyrant is really good for its ability to just, you know, spread synapse to things. Oh yeah, that's it. It can choose a unit far away and put them and consider it as being in synapse range. Where the Neurogants have the ability that if they're in synapse range, they gain the synapse keyword. But those two abilities can't be worked together. So if they can't be in the synapse range thanks to the Neuro Tyrant, they don't get the synapse keyword. They only get it if they're in the normal ranges. I can't remember how far synapse range is normally. Is it 6 inches now? Is it 12 inches? There wasn't a short range in this edition. You'll probably see the Neurogants used more for their intended goal. It feels like when the Neurogants were designed, they were designed to be used specifically with the Neuro Tyrant ability. But then afterwards they decided, no, they don't like that. I imagine maybe it's because they think it's just too powerful for a cheap unit and they didn't want to make it more expensive because it didn't feel right for the unit. They wanted to keep it cheap, but they didn't want it being abused by the Neuro Tyrant. Because otherwise you'd have to make one of the other model more expensive. And then that means that you would never use one without the other. I don't think that's what they wanted. So I can see why they got rid of it. There is some stuff where you can extend synapse range for. It's like if you go for the generic invasion fleet, one of the enhancements I think increases your range by like another 6 inches or something. Or is it 3 inches? I can't remember. I can never remember Tyranids off the top of my head. New recruit. Those are not my main army. Like, I use it for my Neuro Tyrant of all things. Synaptic Linchpin. Yeah. Okay, it's a 9 inches instead of 6 inches for the normal synapse range. It's pretty cool. I just realised Neuro Tyrant has a fly keyword. I never realised that. Or maybe I'd forgotten. Yeah. Neuro Tyrant has to be one of those models that people at first slept on a little bit because they're like, this guy's not that good, like compared to a normal Hive Tyrant. But then people realise actually its ability is pretty good. It's just such a great utility to be able to go, this thing that's like well beyond my normal battle line, it now has synapse. and is now in Synapse range. That's just such a useful ability just to be able to kick off on your opponent. It used to be 12 inches and 18 inches in case this like for Hive Tyrant. Yeah, back when I first played, I think Synapse range was 12 inches and the Hive Tyrant was 18 inches. But Synapse range had no benefit to it, other than the leadership thing, but it was incredibly important to be within Synapse range. Like, I think early Tyranids had the thing of, similar to Battlefleet Gothic, where if they're not in Synapse range, you can't control them fully. You're limited in what they can do, and they must take leadership tests with 3d6 picking the 2 highest. Or was it just 3d6 and add them all together? But either way, you wanted to roll low for leadership tests back then, so... and also failing leadership tests generally meant your unit died. So... it was incredibly important to keep your entire army in Synapse range. Nowadays, keeping your army in Synapse range doesn't really feel like you have to. Like you're not losing out, not keeping... But I mean, you're losing out some of the extra bonus, but your unit's still good without the Synapse range. So, Soaps had no leader unit when they used to have a Neurothrope. Yeet. I mean, technically they still have a Neurothrope now, it just doesn't do anything special. Now that it can join Soaps, it's really good. Remember, it released only able to join Tyrant Guard and Neurogaunt. Yeah, joining Neurogaunts kind of sucked for it because... well, Neurogaunts suck. Tyrant Guard were fine for it. Although just having it run around by itself wasn't the worst thing ever. Because it was... actually, I don't know how expensive it was when it was first released. I know that like the Psychophage absolutely sucked because it was just overpriced to heck. And its rules weren't even that good. But the Neuro Tyrant... we're gonna rest now. Bye bye, Mercury. I'm glad you're having some good rest. Go listen to some more good music. And it's definitely better now it can join the Zoanthropes. Or the Zoanthropes. But I think it already had quite a bit of utility. At least depending on what army you put in. But it depends on what price it was when it first came out. I can't remember. I remember when I first looked at its rules and I'm like, it's decent. It's decent. It's not too overpriced. And now it can join Zoanthropes. It's pretty much an auto take because Zoanthropes are an auto take. And it just makes the Zoanthrope stronger. In addition to the rest of its rules. By itself, it's fine. Like, it can just be taken out by your enemy pretty easily, but it's a relatively small monster. For monster and character, it's relatively small, so easy to hide. And it's also by itself poses very little threat to an enemy, so it's not necessarily the first thing they want to go and focus down. And between its invulnerable save and actually being toughness 8 with 9 wounds, it's not the easiest thing just to get rid of. Tyrant Guard are a bit of an anti-synergy for the Neuro Tyrant. It's not really suited for combat. If it could join the Hive Guard, we'll be talking. Hive Tyrant was better guard target. Yeah. But I think it's like when I was looking at it, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't put it in for Hive Guard. I'd put it just by itself. Because I don't think it was good in the Neuro Gaunt unit. Like, then you're just at the risk of someone just firing a bunch of last guns in it, wiping out your entire unit, and then still having more last guns to fire. Or like the melter gun, and it's now wounding you on 2s, because they have to finish firing the entire unit before your toughness turns to toughness 8. There's like, I'm some guardsman. I've got a melter gun here. I got 2 melter guns in this unit and a whole load of last guns. The last guns just wiped out all of your Neuro Gaunts. Now take 2 melter guns that wound on 2s. Oh, it's like, yeah, all of my Black Templar charging a unit. They got strength 4 change. Whatever. Wait, it's in combat. You have to finish like your entire melee's attacks before you finally get the its toughness goes back to normal, isn't it? But either way, the fact that it goes down to toughness 3 of a Gaunt is just terrible for the Neuro Tyrant. Looking at the Impaler Cannon is sad. Isn't the Impaler Cannon like hits really hard though? I thought it was like a decent like anti-tank weapon. Or am I being insane? Or is it a different weapon I'm thinking of? Oh, for Hive Guard weapon. Okay. I know that's the one I like. If I were to ever get Hive Guard. Tyranids are in a really weird position for, I say really weird. It feels a lot accurate to Tyranids. We're on an equal footing, do you know, we're 2 armies, same size. The Tyranids often can't actually win by just crushing the opponent. They instead just have to play the objective, and they are very good at playing the objective game because you've got a lot of utility models in Tyranids. Lots of very fast models, lots of ability to ignore terrain. Lots of units that can just catch up the enemy or overwhelm them, slow them down. But it feels like when it comes to just... You're always at risk of just being tabled effectively. I kind of feel that's a lot accurate. Like, Tyranids very rarely do well when it's 2 forces that are kind of equal against one another. They can only kind of win when they just have massive advantage. Hi, Paint Games, how you doing? The Tyranids always win. Maybe. Maybe. By the way, is everyone just still seeing at names in chat rather than your proper usernames? Because that's all I see in chat still. Yep, still at. Don't know how to fix it because I know some people don't have it like that still. Don't know why I'm one of the ones that do. Hoping it would be fixed because last time it was fixed by now. I'm good. I've started wearing a scarf. It is so nice. It's like a little blanket I can snuggle in while walking. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have to wear earmuffs sometimes when I go outside because my ears get cold. The rest of me doesn't. But my ears definitely get cold at times. There we go. Yeah, at names out. I had to put it's so people knew who I was, but that wasn't long enough, so I added the O thing. It's good, warm, strong, scarf in cold weather is great. Yeah. Oh well, as I said, I'm a kind of person that doesn't really get that cold, to be honest. Just my ears. In fact, I get very hot very easily. In fact, my windows are open. Like minus something outside. The stream I watched the other week that didn't have it was from the land down under. It was weird seeing it. My model just disappeared on me. And by disappeared, I mean got knocked off the table. Hey, there we go. Hey, it's grabbed onto my toe. Stop grabbing my toe. Okay, it's fine. It's back. We are on the land down under, where something rose and thunder. Oh no, I only know that song from Scrubs. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land. Oh my gosh, my throat is just such a mess though. I wonder if I should just start taking antihistamines on my daily. I was born in the cold, molded by it. By the time I felt warmth of the sun, it was painful. It's true, I'm Scottish. We Scots don't really know what sun is. And when we do find out what it is, we don't like it. Warm and it burns. I don't know what a tan is. They told me to get a tan once and all that happened is my skin fell off. And I was even paler afterwards. That's actually true. It's like, oh, gets the strongest factor sun cream on. Goes outside in like, where was I? I can't remember. Was it Tenerife? I was a little kid. And my skin burnt so badly that I turned basically into an onion. And then I didn't tan. I wasn't tan or dark after it. I was just paler than ever before. This is what happens when you put a proper Scotswoman outside in the weather. There's 3 weathers in Scotland: snowing, raining, overcast. There's nothing else. You've ever seen a picture of That's also why all the Scottish lakes always look grey, when you take pictures of them. They don't look blue or clear, whatever. It's because they're reflecting the blooming sky, and the sky's grey. I'm winter-born and ginger. I'm as anti-sun as it's possible to get. I'm blonde! Oh! Yeah, I do have like a bit of red in my hair. Like a tiny bit of red. You can't really see too well. You started wearing not because you get cold, just because I got one about a year ago. Oh. My friend used to always wear a scarf. I think it was because Doctor Who wore a scarf. Baker. That's my mother's favourite Doctor Who. Mine is... I don't know, actually. Third Doctor. Third Doctor is great, personally. Love me some Third Doctor. I hoped I would like Capaldi more than I did. Out of the meme of the Irish woman sunbathing. No, not that one. The other one. And then you realise there's another woman in the picture. She is tropical sand white. Oh no. Yeah, I am not a sunbather. Oh. You think this is gloves? No, it's just skin. Actually, no, that would make my skin look winkly. This is white. It is. Oh. How like... Oh, yeah, my skin's not that bright. That's good. Perfectly camouflaged as all things should be. That's not an Irish one, that's just a lictor. Just doing some sunbathing. The question is do lictors go invisible or do they just camouflage perfectly? Like, the ideal used to be was they just camouflage purpose, you know, camouflage really well. But then, like, with more modern lore and Space Marine 2 and stuff, and the way it works in just a lot of things where we see lictors now, including the tabletop, it's more like it could just go straight up invisible. You'll never see a Scots person going sunbathing. Okay, a lot of Scots people have the genealogy that was, you know, good for sunny weather. There's a lot of Scots people have like close familial relations to the French. Because, you know, just history. We weren't one of those families, though. Nor were we one of the families that, you know, has close relations to the Anglo-Saxons or to the Vikings. No, that came into Scotland, meaning my bloodline mostly just dates back to the Pictish. The animated series Gene Stealer episode that was posted like 2 years ago, it could go pretty much invisible, but the space would be warped. That suggests that it was camouflaged just really well. The Space Marine 2 ones definitely go full invisible. But I much prefer the cephalopod levels of colour control that makes them seem to vanish. Yeah. There's also like some law or something, you know, one of the lictors, how they can go invisible, which effectively suggested that they can go invisible. They don't leave a scent. They don't make any sounds. They can avoid all sensors and confound machinery and stuff. The entire thing just suggested passive assault, but basically it's just invisible. It's not even advanced camouflage at that point. Oh yeah, there's something about deflecting light around them. Like, do you know for old James Bond cars from that one film? With a space laser made from crystals in the ice hotel or casino or whatever it was. Like outlined, yeah. There's a Terminator in Helldivers 2 called a Stark when it basically disappears except around the edges of its form where its camo control doesn't quite work due to perspective. Yeah, that's how a lot of, you know, camouflage stuff work in video games. And kind of similar how it would work in real life. Like if you actually look at these animals and stuff. The other ones that actually try blending, like you got animals that will try blending in the surroundings by looking like something else, and then you get the ones that try to literally look like the thing that's behind them and blend into it. But when you look at them, you can definitely see the shadows upon the creature, and that's what gives them away. It's not just perspective, it's literally the shadows, like all the bumps and stuff on the creature cast shadows. Oh, description of like a lictor, the way it does it, it's basically didn't cast shadows. They could be like cuttlefish and mimic the environment. Cuttlefish are just the most adorable murder machines. Aren't they like a popular cuisine though, like effectively cheap lobster? Am I thinking of something else? I know that in some places they're more of luxury food, but that's just because you have to import them. Well, lobster itself in some places isn't a luxury food. Because it's just so popular. Like they completely populate the oceans and coasts. Yeah, but anything that like mimics the environment around it will still have the issue of casting a shadow. But the lictor apparently doesn't cast a shadow and it doesn't have like shadows to give it away. That being said, I don't know if we can trust like the entire those descriptions of the lictor. because of times where the lictor has failed to go fully invisible and has been sighted and seen by others or heard, or just otherwise sensed in some way. Like, and then also, why would it stop being invisible to do its attacks and stuff? And to go into melee with things? It makes more sense that far away you just can't tell it's there because it's very quiet and it doesn't have much of a heat signature and it's, you know, camouflaging into everything around it. But then once you're closer, it becomes very apparent that it is there. And then once it's up in your face, you can fight it. That's what I think makes the most sense. I don't really like the idea of it, you know, effectively just disappearing and appearing. Well, with that being said, maybe it's because when it is camouflaging itself, it's taken a lot of energy to keep itself camouflaged. A lot of concentration. Something smart enough it should be able to account for its own shadows, and lictors are incredibly intelligent. Unless you can generate light, you can't counter for your own shadows. I mean, maybe it can. I mean, bioluminescence for Tyranids isn't exactly going to be surprising. But the thing is you can change the colour and stuff and like make and stuff that the shadow's falling upon, but it doesn't stop the shadow falling upon you. And it doesn't stop your shadow falling behind you. Or on the ground or whatever. And just because you can try changing the colour underneath a shadow to try and match the rest of it, it's going to be very difficult to get that perfect because the entire thing is there's already limited light bouncing from it. Unless you can generate enough light to make up the fact that light's not coming from there anymore. I mean, maybe if they can just generate that bioluminescence, but once they start generating that bioluminescence, then other sensors will go off. Like, if they're generating bioluminescence, they're probably generating some sort of heat or some sort of chemical reaction is going on that's going to generate smell. And on top of that, you're not necessarily stopping your shadow again underneath you, unless you're generating a light underneath you that is then hiding that shadow. But then you've got a very clear light underneath you that's going to be bright. And it's, I mean, obviously if they can like crawl up high and stuff and along walls so that the shadow is going to be less of an issue, and on rooftops. And that was kind of the idea of how like lictors did work. They didn't really. Part of their stealth was the fact that they just avoided being in your line of sight. But now you've got this idea of lictors are so good at hiding, they can be in your line of sight, they can be on your sensors, and you just won't notice them. We're very much taking a modern approach to stealth in a lot of ways. Like a lot of modern, what we consider stealth tech, it's less about making it so it's not actually, you know, hiding well. It's more about just stopping sensors seeing it. And that's often more important than stopping yourself being visually seen. Because if you're at the point where you can be visually seen, you're generally already in the position you want to be. In fact, some are seen could be due to the age or experience of the individual Tyranid, maybe. We got to remember that nits have microbes and such that follow them, so it wouldn't be impossible that such microbe messes with scanners and tech. Yeah. I love that one Nictor. I think it was Death Leap psychologically tormenting a planetary governor by basically just getting into his room at night. Yeah, because he realised that killing off a governor. Wasn't it? Is that the one where he realised that killing off a governor wouldn't help because it would turn him into a martyr? So they had to instead like drive the governor insane. And like they kept killing the governor's bodyguard but leaving the governor alive. Until it just completely shattered the morale of the people. And then you've got the Orc War boss that they couldn't assassinate because he was just too good. Like every time they tried attacking or assassinating him, the lictor just got killed off. Eventually they had to lure him out into like an ambush where they just attacked him with as many Tyranids as they could until eventually he died. And that's literally the thing with lictors today. It's like, if you're fighting guardsmen, lictors, very good at killing characters. If you're not fighting guardsmen, they're kind of meh. I guess it makes sense that they just turn invisible, I guess. I mean, turning invisible would make sense for like why they have to come out of invisibility to do their attacks. Because it like requires a bunch of energy and concentration otherwise. Genestealer cults wish they could destabilize the planet like that fast. This lictor doing the Lord's work in like a month. I don't think it was destabilizing the planet necessarily. It was... Because I don't think it was a planet that got destabilized. It was the military that got destabilized. Because he was a military leader and very inspiring. And he inspired the people, but importantly, he inspired the soldiers to basically never give up. And at that point, there's like no level of destabilization he can really do. Like, Genestealers in theory, the main destabilization they do is like off the opponent's economy and hierarchy. But often you look at Genestealer cults in the Warhammer lore and you wonder what they were even doing. Like, they're not very good, these Genestealer cults, a lot of the time. Like, a lot of them gain a lot of power or whatever, but they're not necessarily, like, even helping the Tyranids that much. I think the main thing is it's because they're meant to be their own army. But they can't really have too much lore of Genestealer cults winning with the help of, destabilizing stuff enough for the Tyranids to win. Because then there won't be any Genestealer cults in the lore to, be inspired by or base the colours on or whatever. So instead you need Genestealer cults that are going to be around but Tyranids are nowhere near. Or the Tyranids fail to defeat the armies, but the Genestealer cult survives. The Deathwatch have a portable trap that contains a new type of invisible Tyranid that can't be detected by scans. Since they can't be sure, they keep it locked away just in case. Oh goodness, that's silly. The best way to do that, I feel like, is just have like a really good cage fence with spikes in it and then just stab the spike in and see if it hits something. To use psychological warfare, the parasite of Mortex has the ability with its ovipositor to spawn rippers. If he takes out one infantry model, I declare that it's going to impregnate the Terminator and my opponent fears. I've never really had much good use out of a parasite of Mortrex, but mostly it's against space. It's against my own Black Templar. And when you're trying to throw a melee, like my Tyranids never do well against my Black Templar because it's like the Templar just out melee them too well. It's like the only chance we really have is just playing objectives. We might have done our job at Energy from the Death Watch there, and I approve it. I like all the superstition and stuff in Warhammer. I don't like it too much when we get, you know, things fully confirmed to us. Like, I just like the idea that it's like, this Tyranid can't be spotted or scanned, but we've got it in a trap. The Tyranid doesn't exist. Just the Imperium is just so effectively superstitious and insane that it thinks these things exist that don't. It doesn't do much, but the fear factor is enough for the enemy to shackle. He is a monster against toughness 3, 1 wound squad. Yeah. I remember just charging my Screamer Killer at my Stern Guard, and the Stern Guard just killed the Screamer Killer in combat, and it's like, oh. That wasn't what I was really expecting from that. Stern Guard are a lot tougher in melee than you really expect. Terminus degree, cough coughs. Yeah. The Terminus degree thing is a bit weird. Although, I can't remember. It's been a while since I read it. Was that like full confirmation, or was that like rumours about what it might be? Like it is said that the Terminus degree, as the Grey Knights do this thing, or was it like fully? The Grey Knights Terminus degree definitely says this. They do still some of the, you know, superstitious type of lore from time to time. Like, yes, I saw it with like the Hashut, they went fully into that. That's in part because some of their lore is directly contradicting what we actually know. It's not a retcon, it's just what the dwarves believe. Aphrodite look. Else it's that you fail to do any damage and then die. Yeah. To be fair, when I was looking at the averages and stuff, I was like, actually no, this was just averaged. I didn't do badly. It's just I underestimated the Stern Guard by a massive degree. The Screamer Killer was already injured by then, mind you. So it didn't take much to kill the Screamer Killer. That being said, the Stern Guard were on the back line. I thought they'll be like an easy target, and once the Stern Guard were down, we'll be free to capture the back line. I was like, nope, that didn't work like that. My mother is currently making luscata saffron buns. Ooh, Christmas is here. Christmas is here. The other day when I finished my stream, I found my parents were like polishing. We do spring cleaning at Christmas time. And that was like my thing of Christmas is here. Like, oh, you're being polished. You'd been cleaning without me. It's easy to feel confident when you have 100 models and 12 monsters. Yeah. The issue is, though, it's like when you're against like something like the Templars, or at least my Templar army, they outshoot me, they out-melee me. Many of the Tyranid tactics of, you know, just throw 20 termagants at them, that'll keep them busy. That does not work when your opponent just has a billion attacks and they're all sustained attacks. Like, yeah, there's actually, I don't know what we'll do. It's like the generic Crusader squad. It's like, okay, my non-assimilator, according to averages, is going to get killed by that Crusader squad. My Termagants would definitely get killed. These guys would definitely get killed. The Hive Tyrant, that's going to get killed. There's not much I can do about that squad there. Okay, so let's look at the Stern Guard. Well, they've got enough firepower to kill anything I have. If I go into melee with them, with some of my Vanguard dudes, like, I got Parasite to Mortrex here, how will that do? No, it's going to get killed. Neurolictor, no, that'll get killed in melee. Oh, when I put my Tyranids against my guard, I was thinking, yeah, if we're going to do something here. And they did do more, but I also put them against like one of the Baneblades. And the Baneblade Demolisher Cannon just one-shot my Neuro Tyrant. I was like, that was not good. One shot is definitely... Oh yeah, your local Christmas market. Ooh. Wait, did I say Neuro Tyrant? Non-emissary, non-assimilator. I meant got one shot by my by Demolisher Cannon. Like, oh no. My tips is for cheese or 3 exocrines in reserves to throw out to the second turn to nuke some units. Maybe. The exocrine is pretty cool. But we got one Tyranid painted and a half of one. I talked too much about Skyrim today. I stopped painting too many times. Oh no. But big love hearts to everybody here. Thanks for coming to the stream. Oh gosh, I hope you had fun. Don't forget to like the stream if you've not liked it already, because it really, really helps me out. Oh my goodness. Views have been down. I don't know why YouTube's been hating me so much. But remember to take care of yourselves. Be kind to others. Remember to... Wait, take care of yourselves, be kind to others and vice versa. Thanks for the big loves, Yeet, and the food, the chicken nuggets. And also, what else do I normally say? Work harder, play harder, sleep well, eat good food, dream of cupcakes, but don't eat for cupcakes as they're friends, not food. Big love hearts to all. Yeet. Love you all. Bye-bye. Ow, can hit my head. Bye-bye. Love you all.